Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie Price. Welcome to the monthly focus. This is a really interesting month. Now, I want to dive right into the energies because I've been feeling like we're in a time of a little more internalized shift, and I'm still feeling that. And yet, I'm starting to begin to see how it's applying overall to the year's energies, which are understanding love. Of course, our time of ascension now that we're in, it's ultimately about bringing more consciousness to our subtle nature. And as we do that, we very naturally align with more of our subtle self, the 99% plus part of ourselves. But that also means that we're aligning more with universal law as it applies here on earth. And this month's focus is really bringing that into a lot more clarity. So, in this year of understanding love, the April energy focus is allowing flow. And I want to talk about how I was shown that applying into our lives directly here, and then also some of the broader nature of that. Because to me, this is a core part of what our ascension is about. Not only becoming more pliable and adaptable and open to change because we're in a time of expansion with our subtle nature, but also really being open to balancing a big physical realm rule, which is what's in our control and what's out of our control. Now, overall, this year, it has been looking into topics, going deeper into topics that are helping us to navigate the physicality here and how we apply love into that, with the focus of freedom early on in the year in January, and then kind of its opposite of how we're connected. We're called to look at that juxtaposition of balancing and expanding our duality. And then March's focus, Wise Choices, really feels like it ties into April's energy. And I had said that this might even extend into May, where we're feeling things a little more internalized. I'm not so sure about that part, but I do feel like allowing flow is building on wise choices and how we deal with the actions and the inactions that we take in life, or how we balance what's in our control and what's out of our control. And allowing flow is a really important one because it is really opening us to more subtle realm rule interaction here in physicality. Our physical body, this beautiful biomechanism, is attuned to navigating the physical realm. But the exciting part that we're at now, as our intuition is increasing, our empathy is increasing, our understanding of our divinity, our natural capabilities, our innate sacredness is increasing, that we are called to allow more, because taking actions is something that's rather natural to us here. Not getting rid of that. We're adding an expansion of awareness to that flow so that the actions that we do take have more power to them because we are more coherent beings. They have more of our innate creativity to them because we are attuned to the vastness that we are, aligning ourselves with universal law as it applies here on earth. So, allowing flow is helping us to open to our innate divinity, but how life, the underlying formulas that create life, is able to flow through us. And at this time, there's so much chaos, there's so much change going on collectively in the world, us knowing our divinity becomes ever more important. That we're not just living by default or giving away our creative power, nor are we trying to apply physical realm rules into the subtle realm by controlling our energy. That what we're called to do, that allowing flow brings into such clarity, is to open to that divinity, to open to that innate sacred connection that we are, and allow life to flow through us. And this is why I've been feeling like we're called to internalize a little more. We're called to experience things more subtly before a lot of things start really moving. A lot going on in the external realm, and yet what we're called to do is relax the internal realm so that that connection to the sacred and that vast freedom that we are, January and February energies, is able to flow through us more. And then that creates more of those wise choices. And a key to accessing those wise choices is allowing flow. So there was two words that really came up strongly with this as we're moving through the month and tapping into that allowing energy and that flow. Is trust was the first word. And if that has triggered you, good. Um, it's an important energy because we're here to learn how and when to trust, how to trust the self, how and when to trust others and when not to, a big part of that discernment of the physical realm. But where trust is meant to flow freely is trust in the self. And that means that there's more trust in the sacred flow that we are connected to, that we are because we are life, that is inherent within us. And as we connect into that broader flow, we are connecting into synonyms of love, empowerment, joy, creativity. That kind of flow is what reflects for us the divinity that we are. So, trust is a big component of that. And it's the trust in the self that leads you to more of that clarity with your discernment, because then you're able to listen to those signals of, I'm not sure about this. So, I'm going to keep an open mind, but I'm also going to be more aware. I'm going to make choices, wise choices, when I feel that impulse to share, to flow, to connect, to take action. So, trust is a really important component of allowing flow. And that means, first and foremost, you're trusting yourself. And what that means when you're trusting yourself is that you're trusting that broader flow of life or that inherent divine nature that you are. We are life in human form, and we are a result of the flow of universal law. We are a result of the binding force of love, life continuing life. And when we trust the self, We are trusting the divinity of moving through this experience, this physical experience, that all is well and changing. Not all is perfect, all is easy, all is pleasant. All is well and changing, because we see so much going on in the world that is not embracing life. And yet we know that what's coming up are the changes that are necessary for more clarity, more authenticity, more truth, more empowerment to be available for humanity. So the old systems are falling. The things that were suppressed before are coming to the surface. And we as light workers are here to focus with our light the life that we want to create here. The loving ones, as Ariane says constantly, when they are boldly living their lives, that's when the world really changes, because we're not just allowing things to keep flowing by default. Everything that's positive gets amplified. Everything that's negative gets transformed through love. The only thing that really heals things long term, of course, in physical, we need other physical things, but we are working with the light that allows things to transform and weaves that healing information of love into the trauma and the tragedies that are so prevalent on earth. All is well and changing. Weave that change into the flow that is happening here. What's in your control and what's out of your control. What's in your control is what you're flowing within. And when you trust the flow of life, you trust yourself, you are able to allow that flow to move through you into this realm, into the field of information that we're all immersed in. So trusting the self is first and foremost, because that also means that you're trusting that broader flow of life. And that gives you the clarity and the discernment to know when to trust others and when not to know when to keep an open mind, keep more awareness, hold some boundaries, and trust the feelings that you're having, along with moving yourself forward with more empowerment. So trust was the first word or topic that I was given within allowing flow. The next one was capability. And ooh, that triggered me. If that triggers you, awesome. Because when something comes up and it feels like it's negative, that is the release cycle exemplifying for you. Because I said earlier that part of understanding love and applying that in the physicality here is what's in your control and what's out of your control. And capability is something that we often apply only to actions that are collectively approved of, or outcomes actually that are collectively approved of, or an expectation of outcome that we may have on ourselves. And allowing flow in connection with capability is about recognizing how amazing and how powerful and how perfect you are. That you are life in a unique and separate form that is here for a reason, that is unique to you and connected to all life. And that's profound. Life gives itself to you freely because you are life. You were born capable. You were born knowing that you are divine and life is meant to be free and empowering. And it is going through a lot of change to let go of old systems that have not been supporting that. It is for us to create the energy that we want to experience here. And allowing flow is allowing life to flow more understanding of the perfection that you were born capable, allowing that to flow to you. This is why I feel like this topic is, of course, the next perfect progression after wise choices, but so potent for our empowerment and what humanity is going through right now. It's vast change, it's intense change, and it is so profoundly beautiful what we're capable of creating. But it's for the loving ones, those that are interested in understanding their inherent capabilities and flowing that not only into their own lives, but for everyone. Because we know that as that flows here more, as we allow that flow, it's a win-win. And this potent time of trusting yourself and trusting that flow of life and knowing that you were born so perfectly capable for the love that you are, that's what this time is about. Deep, profound energies that I didn't realize I was going to cry, but I cry a lot. So that's just the way it's supposed to be for me. I am capable of not crying, but I'm letting myself cry. um, so, really deep and profound times, and allowing flow is not always easy when we're accustomed to taking actions for things. You're still going to take actions. We are here in the physical to take actions. And yet, allowing that flow gives you that pause as you're considering actions or you're feeling things come up that feel resistant, to take a breath and recognize that you are built and created of these profound, universal flow of love that has brought this beautiful, unique you to this world to be. And allowing flow is about being more of your sacred, divine, profound self, even as you're taking action. The being and doing are connected in the physical realm when you are more fully connected in your present moment. So I do want to share the intention that I was given for this month because it was so beautiful. So I just want to say it, and then I want to talk about it. I am allowing flow to show me love's path. I am allowing flow to show me love's path. And I particularly love how we're allowing flow to show us love's path because that seems to me as if it's a call to take a moment and pause and be in that present moment. If it's a pleasant one, that's easy. It's not as easy when they're unpleasant. But what is love's path there? What is life calling you to feel or dream, imagine, to hold sacred within you that will nurture over time through love's path. Because you, as a loving one, know that we are meant to thrive here. And the old systems that are falling away, that don't support that thriving, we are capable of building new. And it's love that does that. I am allowing flow to show me love's path. Use it often, use it daily, especially in the morning or in the evening when there's nothing occurring and you're just in your quiet meditative time. And use it throughout the day, sometimes in the easy ones, and let those synchronicities and those beautiful miracles that happen when you're in that open state and you're allowing flow to show you love's paths. And use it in the challenging times when you might feel a little off balance. And yet that balance is there for you, just that pause. And you may not even see it in the moment, but it'll show itself to you. I am allowing flow to show me love's path. Because love's path only really gets here through you. No pressure. Truly, it is all of us. We bring love to earth. And allowing flow is you opening up to receive the grace from life that is constantly flowing to you. I am allowing flow to show me love's path. Take a nice, relaxing breath. You allow the crystalline soul healing and light language to bring you the trust and the recognition of the capability that is inherent to you. Allowing yourself to receive that flow of love from life more and more. Me moranat erot quam, brahmer urukmet temehem, brem hakum em charatik tel doratani en sudum denu urim, breakrura kawa. Nemahat unemasuch anatokoam, pram hokremet enderet il, nohremek andurum am charato. Kranant ham ormem andot o koret, grelert amstaimem such ratakaim. Kram hakror tailert enon, waramat sukormek ucharat gel hrutumat in. Kananahremat sachorut, daler tanin en krormet, damor haptayruk okwa, quaram hatchayrumat nimma oam. Bral rukomet nin. Weremak ayam such rarot ua dal rodom enenerat. Quamas mashtai. Teuru harinenet, weremak rayamat dim, janot okuret sancharet il. Henineru weremat nama. Hairot unum at sachorota kaim sushtaim. Aneneru tukua mema, huaramak ayankum, chaurat an suchurum, merut num sakrielerit kananeru awata. Haninerut kurma kaimam, brarot an sachayerat at kreramat in lel runo, waranat sachir akuam, quam haktir.